Let's talk about Iran. It's a country that is just an absolute master of contradiction. A place where what you see on the surface, yeah, that's rarely the full story. We're about to dive into a fascinating look that goes way beyond the headlines. Seriously, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For a lot of people, the images are probably shaped by the news, right? Deserts, politics, ancient history. And look, while those things are definitely part of the story, they are not even close to the whole story. Because in this explainer, we're going to peel back the layers and look at some of the amazing paradoxes of modern Iran that will probably challenge every single stereotype you might have. So our first stop is this incredible gap between public life and what happens in private reality. It's a divide that shapes pretty much everything, and it starts with something you would probably never, ever expect. Believe it or not, Iran has the highest rate of nose jobs per capita in the entire world. It's become such a powerful status symbol that some people will actually keep the bandages on long after they've healed just to show everyone they could afford the surgery. Wild, right? This huge focus on appearance is tied to a really deep cultural concept called Taarof. The best way to think about it is like a social dance. It's this system of extreme politeness where you might offer things you don't really mean and you refuse things you actually want. Well, at least for the first few times. A perfect example is taking a taxi. You get to your destination, you go to pay, and the driver might say, "Oh no, please, it was my pleasure." And this is the important part, you can't just accept that. You are absolutely expected to insist on paying. You insist, they refuse, you insist again, and then finally they'll reluctantly take the money. It's all this delicate, fascinating test of social grace. And hey, here's a super crucial tip if you ever visit. That friendly thumbs up gesture we all use, in Iran, it's a deeply offensive insult. Basically their version of the middle finger. So, yeah, you'll definitely want to keep your thumbs to yourself. Now, what's so interesting is that this landscape of social contradictions is totally mirrored in the land itself. So whatever stereotype you have of Iran as just one giant hot desert, go ahead and throw that right out the window. The reality is a true paradox of ice and fire. Just a couple of hours outside the capital, Tehran, you can find these incredible mountain ranges with world-class ski resorts. I mean, people are literally hitting the slopes on fresh powder in a country that most of us only associate with scorching heat. But, and this is where it gets really wild, at the very same time, Iran is also home to the single hottest place on the entire planet. The Lut Desert holds the record for the highest surface temperature ever recorded, period. We're talking a staggering 70.7 degrees Celsius. That's 159 degrees Fahrenheit. It's a land of absolute extremes, where you can find both freezing snow and blistering, record-shattering heat, all within the same borders. And living within this extreme landscape is one of the rarest animals on Earth. Iran is the last sanctuary for the wild Asiatic cheetah. It's estimated there are fewer than 50 of them left, which makes the country this critical, final stronghold for their very survival. This brings us to what might be the most powerful paradox of them all. Iran's absolutely brilliant history of innovation contrasted with a modern-day crisis of losing its greatest minds. Just look at that history of genius. Iran produces over 90% of the world's saffron. That's the precious red gold. It takes about 150,000 flowers just to produce a single kilogram. That's a testament to an ancient and incredibly meticulous tradition. And check this out. In a place called Nashtifan, there are these windmills made of clay and wood that have been continuously operating for over 1,000 years. A millennium! This is ancient, sustainable engineering that's still at work today. It's just amazing. But here is the heartbreaking contrast. Despite this incredible history of ingenuity, an estimated 150,000 of Iran's brightest and most educated citizens leave the country every single year. This is a phenomenon known as brain drain, and it represents a staggering loss of intellectual capital as new generations of scientists, doctors, and innovators look for opportunities somewhere else. And these really big, large-scale paradoxes, they also filter down into the small, everyday details of life. You know, the kind of things that are completely missed by the headlines. Imagine trying to buy a coffee. The price tag might say 500,000 rials, but the barista will ask you for 50,000 tomans. There's one official currency, the rial, but everybody speaks and thinks in another, the toman. It's a constant mental math workout for any visitor. Trust me. Even the rhythm of the week feels different. Forget Saturday and Sunday. In Iran, the weekend is Thursday and Friday, with Friday being the main day of rest for most people. All of this really just points to a country of immense, unbelievable historical depth. Iran is home to 28 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, everything from the ruins of Persepolis to ancient water systems, which ranks it among the top 10 nations in the world for recognized cultural treasures. Which really leaves us with this final thought. If just a few minutes together can reveal this many surprises, how many other stories, how much complexity, and how much humanity are we all missing when we only see the headlines?